From the dismal state of the current VR headset market to the much anticipated release of Apple's take on this invention, here are the reasons why the Apple Vision Pro is not the future. With the new Vision Pro, Apple has creeped its way into our lives, and it's only getting worse. Alright Apple, you dropped the bomb. A mixed reality headset with a whopping price tag of $3,499. Am I tripping or what? But here's the thing, guys. I can't say I've got the pocket money to buy this thing, but I'll bet you anything that Apple Vision Pro is not the future. Don't get me wrong, Tim Cook can be all confident and charming, but sometimes even Apple loses its technological vision, no pun intended. Now let's talk about the ghost of tech's past. Remember Google Glass? Yeah, that thing that made you look like you're auditioning for a futuristic movie role? Well, to no one's surprise, it crashed and burned like a failed rocket launch. And that's definitely not the last time a tech giant tried to pull this off. We've got Meta's Quest Pro, Microsoft's HoloLens, and the Magic Leap 2, all promising to revolutionize our reality, but ultimately falling flat on their faces. And now Apple wants to join the club with the Vision Pro? No way, Jose, I'm not buying it. But guess what? The Vision Pro seems to be following in its nerdy footsteps. I mean, seriously, have these tech giants not learned their lesson? The Vision Pro headset is supposed to be a game changer. But before you start hyperventilating, I gotta spill the tea on why this thing might not be all it's cracked up to be. Trust me, it's gonna get real shocking. So apparently the Vision Pro is all about this spatial operating system that's supposed to take our interaction with technology to a whole new level. Picture this. You can navigate through virtual stuff just by moving your eyes. Sounds cool, right? Well, I gotta wonder if it's all gonna be worth the fuss. Like, are we really gonna be mind blown by apps with dimension, light, and shadows? I'm not quite sure I'm sold on this. Apple claims this thing can transform any space into a frickin' movie theater. Yeah, you heard me right. No more settling for a basic screen when you can have a cinematic experience right in your living room. They're talking visuals that'll blow your mind and transport you to a whole new world. It sounds wild, but I can't help but wonder if it's just a gimmick. Like, will it truly live up to the hype or just leave us feeling meh? Oh, and get this. They say you can connect this Vision Pro to your Mac just by looking at it. Suddenly, a regular old 13-inch screen becomes a massive display. It's all about maximizing productivity. But honestly, do we really need another device to clutter up our lives? I mean, sure, it sounds fancy, but I can't help but question if it's really gonna make a significant difference or just end up gathering dust on our desks. This Vision Pro thingamajig also acts like a camera on your face. Yeah, you heard me right. Privacy concerns, anyone? I get it, customization is cool and all, but do we really want to be walking around with a camera on our faces? Call me old-fashioned, but that just doesn't sit right with me. It's like we're willingly signing up to be watched and monitored, and that's some Black Mirror level stuff right there. That's not all there is to it. The Vision Pro boasts a crazy micro OLED display system that packs more pixels than your average 4K TV. Sounds impressive, right? Well, let me burst that bubble real quick. Do we really need visuals that are so insanely detailed that we can count the pores on someone's face? I'm not so sure. Sometimes less is more, you know? And as if that's not enough, Apple's throwing in their spatial audio system. Well, that basically means that the audio quality is about to be out of this world. It's like they want to wrap us in a cocoon of audio bliss. But honestly, I'm not convinced. Scared more so. Like every time Apple tries to convince me how amazing this headgear is, the more I see it becoming a living nightmare. Can we leave the dystopian multiverse theories on Netflix, please? Like, I don't want to be pulling out the Black Mirror dystopia card, but you've left me with no choice, Apple. It's like the company's trying to replicate those psychotically dystopian episodes to usher humanity into doom way too soon. It's time to face the harsh truth. Despite all the hype and excitement, I gotta say, this gadget might not be the revolutionary game changer we've been led to believe. Sure, it's got some flashy features, but are they really gonna enhance our lives in a meaningful way? Apple does have a knack for making some serious killer hardware, but even they can't ignore the fact that most of us don't want to spend our days locked in a VR/AR bubble. At this point, it's like, do they even care? To be honest, it's on us to be expecting that from a tech giant. What else would they be cashing in on if not our reckless spending? But it does stand true for a lot of us. We want to be part of the real world, not live in some isolated technodome. Because when they launched that promotional video for this thing, it was downright scary. Sure, it sounds fancy, my living room turning into a personal photo gallery, but there is a serious flip side to this device that I don't even think Apple tried to factor in at all. This device is so intrusive to our lives. Don't even get me started on how problematic this feature could become in the future. Issues of privacy are on the line here, as people talk about their faces being captured in someone else's Vision Pro camera. And that's not a crazy concern to have. Any person on the street with this headset activated could potentially capture you on film without your consent. Are you doing anything for censorship, Apple? But here's another part that's just as terrifying. It's not a surprise that our attention spans have collectively taken a serious hit over the past few years. And it's no secret that social media algorithms have played a huge role in turning us into the 10-second clip-consuming audiences we have become. You're telling me that this is not going to make matters worse? Either the tech geeks who are still into this gadget are too naive, or Apple has once again outwitted us all. Who even designed this ad campaign for this whole thing? Have you seen the way everyone using the device is just someone sitting somewhere doing God knows what? Yeah, I'm not trying to lose all physical movement in my body and sit daydreaming all day. But boy, don't even get me started on the design of the Vision Pro. Apple, my guy, what were you thinking? These goggles look like they time traveled from the 90s, complete with a healthy dose of nerdy nostalgia. Yeah, not the fashion statement we were hoping for, is it? They literally look like crazy night vision goggles from a horror comedy that's just made a comeback from the dead. People don't want to be walking around with clunky contraptions strapped to their heads. We want sleek and stylish, not something that makes us look like we're ready to go snorkeling in a sea of virtual reality. Keep that stuff where we left it, man, out of date. Come on, Apple, we expected better from you. If you wanted us to embrace this headset, you should have made it as slick as an ice rink and as fashionable as a runway. But nope, you missed the memo, and now we're left scratching our heads in disbelief. And trust me, it's not just us. Let's not forget those promotional images. Like, seriously, what were they thinking? Showing a dad and his kids lost in their own VR worlds, ignoring each other like extras in a dystopian movie? How about you come up with a gadget to help make real connections? But I bet the tech bros would be all over that one too. Hey Tim, how are you going to play those pictures and videos for us in our living room when we're not even going to be in the moment to experience them in the first place? Talk about being glued to your screens. It's cool to escape reality for a bit, but let's keep it in there, people. Even Apple employees seem to be giving the Vision Pro some side-eye, but can you blame them? It's a tough sell no matter how you slice it. We're living in a time where tech giants are stumbling left and right, and Apple wants to waltz into the VR/AR realm with the Vision Pro? Well, let's hope they've got a secret trick up their sleeve, because right now it's looking like a recipe for disaster. We're being lured into a world of eye tracking and unreal cinematic experiences, and I can't help but question if it's all just smoke and mirrors. The privacy concerns, the excessive pixel count, the questionable necessity of it all. It leaves me wondering if Apple's Vision Pro is just another overhyped piece of tech that'll fade into obscurity. Will it truly revolutionize our tech game, or will it just be another fad that'll fizzle out? Only time will tell. But for now, keep your hype in check and don't believe everything you hear. So, there it is, folks. From the much-anticipated release of Apple's take on this invention, to the dismal state of the current VR headset market, these were all the reasons why the Apple Vision Pro is not the future.